Yo, what's the deal? What's the deal? Hey, it's your boy Klasic from Classic Live. I got the homie OG Corn Dog in the building. Before we get started with anything, I'm gonna need y'all to do two things: hit that like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. If you're on a different platform, make sure that you do the same thing. Retweet, hit that
Right.
heart, follow, subscribe, do all that good stuff, man. And we got a good episode for y'all tonight. Now. Got some crazy news going on with 50 Cent, man. They got some legal, legal situation that's going on with 50, and they saying that he's a part of some harassment complaint. And recently, he kind of had something go on not too long ago where his baby mama won $1 million in a default judgment. So 50
Oh shit.
didn't end up going to court, and he's trying to get that appeal right now. So people are saying that this is the karma for 50 Cent because of all the trolling and all the stuff that he been doing to everybody, when they had their demise. So now he got this whole harassment situation going on to where an ex-employee is spilling the beans on the operations of how G Unit was being done, bro. So, what's your thoughts about that, homie?
Yo, I ain't up on this at all. This is all new to me. But you know what? I was saying to myself, as much as he's been doing all of this trolling, yo, when is it gonna come on him? You know what I'm saying? So this is the time, right? Yo, my nigga been trolling the hell out of every rapper on the internet, even if he did like him. He still trolls them. And that's a true troll that lives under the bridge. But besides that, I knew that this was gonna bounce back. Cause I think the last time, I guess, when he went at it with T.I., you know what I mean? When he went at it with T.I., I was like, yo, I think this is probably about to bounce back in some kind of way because ain't nobody ever came back and said any type of allegations towards him. So when it's his turn, that let's call it that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is how this shit is flipping around the hip hop community right now. Everybody gets a turn, or everybody gets one. One of those. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Hey, that's real.
yeah, it's his turn. I'm not up on these allegations, so it's just harassment. Like, I mean, yo, if it's female, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that ain't gonna look too good for him. But he got money, and you said that's another thing I went up on. You said he just lost $1 million lawsuit
Yeah,
against his ex, baby
a
mama.
a default judgment, bro. So he didn't show up,
Oh
and
yeah.
it says Shaniqua, the first one, where he had
Oh,
that whole situation where her house burnt down, and they were speculating that he had something to do with it, but they also said 50 filed an appeal after losing a $1 million legal battle, over his ex life rights. That's what it's about, the life rights. So, what is
whoa.
he going to try to make a movie or something?
Like life rights? Oh, like that, huh?
Yeah,
He wanted to include her into his story, and he want those rights. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's what he want to do. He want to make his biopic, and without
Now,
her,
would you
it
say that's
probably.
petty?
Hey man, 50 petty already, man. 50 always been petty, bro. I ain't gonna give a fuck. I ain't sugarcoat none of that shit. This nigga crazy. He go at everybody for any damn thing. The smallest thing, he coming after him. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like it's his turn now. So now everybody about to put him in the mixing bowl and stir him up like soup and shit, like a chef. And it's his turn to get all this backlash from the internet. You feel me?
Yeah, man. Hey, should we got some people in the building? We got D Love saying, "Hey,
D
Classic."
Love. Hey,
Hey, OG Corn Dog. Got the homie
what's up?
Micah in
What
the
up,
building.
girl?
My dog.
What
Uh,
what's happening?
now D Love said, "Yeah, he's super petty." And
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we noticed like 50 get down with all the trolling. So he now would you say that he's wrong in these last two situations? You got the Diddy situation where they got the Diddy documentary from, and then the whole Ti stuff to where he was including Ti wife. Now, in both of those situations, do you think they're the same or it's kind of different?
Yeah, that's different, bro. You know, um, pity. I mean, a pity. I call this nigga pity.
50 Cent.
I said no, no. I'm talking about P Diddy. I said
Oh
pity.
shit.
But anyway, anyway, that shit right there between him and Diddy, that's a personal beef. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That right there is some personal shit, and it seemed like he ain't gonna never forget or forgive. You know what I'm saying when it comes to that. So that's being petty because a true man or any true human being is always gonna have to forgive in order for you to have peace. Message, but yeah, the thing with Ti, he just going at him. He just trying to make waves up in the internet. You know what I'm saying? I don't consider that like real beef and shit. He did come at his wife hard. You know what I mean? And yeah, that photo that he put up, or I say Ti put out, because he just put it back up. You know what I'm saying? That was a cold photo. Yo, she was looking
Very
wrong in
cold.
that. She was looking wrong, but who
Very.
put it up first, right? Right. So all he did was just put it back up. That's all he did. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't think that's like a real beef. Like that's some real petty shit when there was them in between each other talking the situation like let's lock in and create this fake beef. You know what I'm saying? And compete on some shit. That's what the rumor revealed. You know what I'm saying? That's how that shit go down. But yeah, 50 with these allegations now. Like I said, this is new to me. This is gonna be a surprise to whatever's going on, and I'm giving you my true take on that for sure. You know what I mean? Because he a troll, and trolls that live under bridges gonna have to come out of that bridge, once in a while. That's real shit. Your shit ain't clean cut like that for you to be out here just pointing fingers at everybody else. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, that's real talk. Now, the ironic thing that happened between Diddy and 50 Cent. 50 Cent literally, I'm not sure if it's the Let's Get It song. I think it was Let's Get It and the I Get Money remix. 50 Cent wrote the lyrics to Diddy verse. And there was lines saying, send the cops, the feds, the DA to come get me, the city, I'm with it. Like he was saying a lot of crazy ass salacious stuff, and it's crazy that it basically turned into like true fruition. Like a lot of the stuff that he was saying, I'm catching bodies and all this crazy stuff. Now people looking at him with a side eye, and this whole Ti situation, I really think that to be honest with you, at the end of the day, when it's wartime, hey, no stone left unturned. Any and everybody can get it. Some people try
True.
to say, huh?
I said true.
Yeah, some people try to say that there's like dignity to how you have war, but honestly, sometimes you have to eliminate with extreme prejudice to where you wiping away generations to where nothing will ever come back. So
Okay, you talking about that Ti, right?
yeah,
But look, I don't care what nobody say. The whole outcome of that was that single Ti put out, and Ti won with that. Period. Soon as the single came out, and it just went boom. Soon as it came out, it went whoop 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 whoop. That motherfucker went crazy right away. So That was like, shut your ass up, nigga. That was one of them. Like, shut up. You can't. I think he tried to respond, and I may have heard it, but I don't think it had nothing close to what that was. You know what I'm saying? But it
Yeah,
wasn't even part of that beef. It was just that I guess he already had that. Ti had that plan. That's why when he got at 50 in the first place, yo, let's create this fake ass versus right here. You know what I'm saying? And we can run the numbers up. That was the play before the play. I mean, 50 Cent turned around to another play. That's what happened. He gave him the ammunition. T.I. gave him the ammunition. He was like, nigga, I'm gonna do this. Because 50, like, I'm over here so busy doing this and that. I don't need to respond on no type of rap thing or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? You want to play these games? Okay. So yeah, but I think he already had that pre-planned to lay out that song. Like when it comes to the yo, let's do this versus thing. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
50 wasn't playing that, and he played a different way. You know what I'm saying? That was the game he played. He played versus in a different way in the social media game. You know what I'm saying? Which
yeah.
ignited everything then. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing
So
is like people wanted to hear some rap, and that's one of the reasons why I believe that Ti kind of won that, because when he came to the dissing, he went straight to making songs, and
right.
you can't meme yourself out of some shit when people want to hear
No.
some music.
No.
So wait, D-Love said he's not wrong on the Diddy. Wait, he's not wrong on the Diddy, but he crossed the line speaking on a man's wife, in my opinion. Pity, very fitting name. Nope is open season. She said corn dog is right. Damani sat him down too. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's crazy and it's very ironic. Like 50 Cent demolished a lot of people, but it seemed like out of everybody, Rick Ross is somebody that survived, and now you got T.I. somebody that survived. So it seemed like T.I. really can't get rid of these people from the South. I don't know if it's because they're winning or they just know how to make songs that'll keep them, still in the realm of everything. But I really do
right.
believe that this boosted up T.I. rap career, because previously he was just working on doing comedy,
Hey,
so
hey, yeah, and that was like, hey, man, everybody told me, hey, don't do that. Stop. You need to stop now. This is not working for you. Go back to where you
yeah.
came from. You know what I'm saying? And that's true, man. Hey, man, stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your lane. You over and which really surprised me is because the age of Ti, and for him to come out with that single at the age he is, and for it to do that good was like, whoa, that was impressive to me, bro. I ain't gonna even lie, very impressive.
It sounded like that old school Ti. It didn't sound dated like Gucci Mane stuff. He made, matter of fact, Gucci Mane made a diss to Pooh Shiesty, and it sounded like some old 2005 Gucci Mane. But when
Okay,
he came to Ti dissing 50, it sounded current, and a lot of
right,
people was messing with it too. So
right.
you know, yeah, like this whole battle stuff with 50 and everything. I don't know if he's ever going to fully get back into rapping, but I know he's trying to like venture into other things, like as far as TV shows and movies and stuff like that. But
Yeah, he busy,
uh
bro.
yeah, this lawsuit though, we're gonna see. D-Love said, yep, sounded Sesame Street. Ooh, Lord. Yeah, man. Now shit, let me pull this video up, man. Now we got Law and Crime Network talking about this harassment lawsuit about 50 Cent. So let's check it out. Let's go.
50 Cent sued. A former employee makes terrifying claims of threats and retaliation, and she says she has texts to prove it. Plus, I'll tell you what 50 Cent has to say about it. I'm Anjanette Levy, and this is Crime Fix. Curtis Jackson, who you know better as 50 Cent, is a rapper, a producer, and a businessman. He's very successful. He's been around for a really long time, and he's loved by millions of people. But a woman named Monique Mayers paints 50 Cent as the boss from hell in a new lawsuit. And she makes a lot of allegations that include threats, FBI investigations, and the possibility that 50 Cent's associates were involved in the 2006 murder of Busta Rhymes' bodyguard. Mayers says she worked.
Hold up.
Wait a minute. Yo, this went a whole different way.
I'm thinking it's about to be about like some female stuff, but
yeah, this started off a whole different way. Wait a minute. I ain't heard nothing about this. I want to know more about this. But yo, I thought this was something else. What the fuck?
I did a short on my main channel like a couple months ago, and Rod Digger was breaking down the whole case about what happened at the Touch It remix video shoot that was Busta Rhymes. Apparently, at that time, Cassidy dissed 50 Cent, and this was the first time Cassidy crew, Full Surface, Swiss Beats, and G Unit actually.
I remember that.
I think this happened like 2006 or whatever.
Yeah.
Sidebar: nobody has been caught for the alleged unaliving of damn, I forgot the security guard name, but yeah, bro, like rest in peace to him. He definitely needs his justice and everything. But Raw Digger was breaking down the fact of how everything transpired. So if this lady is saying that she said that G Unit security has something to do with the dude getting popped, because they said that Busta Rhymes was filming his scene. He was done with his scene, so he left behind the scenes, and then there was an argument that came out. They said Busta Rhymes got in front of Swiss Beats, and the bodyguard got in front of Busta Rhymes, and that's when the shots went off. So the bodyguard ended up catching, the stray from all the stuff that happened. Then everybody dispersed, and then all of a sudden nobody remembered anything or nobody saw anything.
Oh.
So, crazy shit, bro.
Ooh,
so I know she's not about to spill the beans on everything, is she?
Man, well, shit, sound like it.
Man.
Worked for 50 Cent for 12 years. And for part of that time, she did the work of 3 executives without complaint. But then in 2019, Mayers claims in a lawsuit just filed that things between her and 50 started to go south. In the lawsuit, Mayers' attorneys write, Jackson ran his workplace the same way he built his public persona, through fear, humiliation, loyalty tests, and punishment. Money bought power. Power demanded obedience. Anyone who refused became a target. Mayers claims in her suit that 50 Cent started asking her in 2019 to do things that were illegal. First, Mayers claims 50 wanted her to help him cover up bankruptcy fraud by helping his bodyguard buy his mother a house to hide money he had earned. The lawsuit states, on January 14th, 2019, Ms. Mayers texted Jackson directly, checked with the accountant, and you wouldn't be able to do anything for the house through the foundation. She then forwarded the accountant's advice to Walters and suggested Walters use the funds from the recent $168,000 wire as a down payment, a lawful alternative to the scheme Jackson had proposed. Second, Mayers claims that 50 Cent and his associates wanted Mayers to file a false police report claiming the rapper's bodyguard stole his car, but in reality, he believed the bodyguard had stolen $600,000 from him. That money, according to Mayers, had never been reported by 50 to the bankruptcy court as earned income. The lawsuit states, in a single day, Jackson had asked Ms. Mayers to file a false police report for a car that was not stolen, be an accomplice in concealing $600,000 in undisclosed cash from a state court, and fire Walters for the alleged theft, while Jackson listened from the shadows. In every instance, Jackson wanted someone else to stand between him and his illegal conduct or enable his feckless conduct. In every instance, Ms. Mayers refused. Because of all of this, including not firing the bodyguard, she says she was fired in late March of 2019, was promised severance, but never received it. And she says that she was harassed and threatened
Stop.
by people associated
Stop.
with 50
Stop.
Cent.
Stop. Hey, I'm listening to this, right? And I'm listening to this, and then she said it sounded like Jackson was trying to put someone in between him and the bankruptcy fraud or whatever the fuck they was talking about, right? And I just pictured in my head him grabbing her and she's soaking up all the bullets and they shooting her. I'm like, this nigga using her as a shield, bro.
Literally.
Yo, that don't sound good, bro. This popped off today?
No, this video was, I think it's uploaded like a couple days ago. But another thing that I just heard, basically his bodyguard ran off with $600K and he was like scared to confront him.
No snitching.
But if you say it's no snitching, then why he involved her to say that somebody stole a car?
So he could get the insurance money to get the loss back what the dude took.
Damn.
You feel me?
This is some grimy shit going on.
Right. Yo, he went
man.
Yo. That's some cold shit. Yo.
I'm low-key baffled at this shit. This is crazy.
Yeah.
For years.
Hey, I think is there an echo, D-Love? Check your mic, bro. Yeah, that's fucking man.
The suit claims after attacking Ms. Mayer's reputation, Jackson's intimidation campaign moved to her phone. From January 2020 through March 2026, Ms. Mayer's documented more than 83 incidents of harassment involving at least 25 unique phone numbers from California, Texas, Georgia, New York, and in one instance, Tanzania. The suit includes texts like this one from 2023 that reads, "Who is this?" The sender responded, "I'm your friend 50. Are you still in San Diego?" Mayers responded, "You have the wrong number. Did he give you this number?" The sender responded, "Yeah, he did. Is this the wrong number?" He said he would get me in tonight to watch him. Are you able to get in touch with him? Mayers responded, "What's your name?" The sender responded, "Victor Sena." Mayers responded, "Where did you meet him so I refresh his memory?" The sender responded, "That was last night here in San Diego. It was very quickly because he was busy." Mayers responded, "No problem. Where exactly so I can remind him?" The sender responded, "At Park, San Diego." As time passed, Mayers claims in the suit that she was called to testify in front of a grand jury investigating allegations of fraud made by Jackson against a man named Mitchell Green at his company, Sire Spirits.
What car was it? What car was it?
Man, that's a good ass question, bro. I think I'm about to use that ad blocker. Use that Pi ad blocker for sure, bro. Hold up.
In 2024, Mayers said she received a text after receiving a subpoena to testify in a lawsuit against Sire Spirits. The text says Mayers texted, "Who is this?" The sender responded, "Ja Rule." Mayers responded, "Who are you trying to reach?" The sender responded,
"Wait
Curtis."
a minute.
Mayers responded, "Who gave?"
Who is this? Ja Rule.
Oh, that's 50, bro. He clowning.
Who you trying to reach? Curtis. Yo, come on now.
Wait a minute. Hold. Yo, somebody sent that to 50? Yo, somebody trolled him back. Somebody trolled his ass back. Oh, yo. Shit. Yo.
That's funny. That's funny. Let me rewind that real quick.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Investigating allegations of fraud made by
Ja.
Jackson against a man named Mitchell Green at his company, Sire Spirits. In 2024, Mayers said she received a text after receiving a subpoena to testify in a lawsuit against Sire Spirits. The text says Mayers texted, "Who is this?" The sender responded, "Ja Rule." Mayers responded, "Who are you trying to reach?" The sender responded, "Curtis." Mayers responded, "Who gave you this number?" Mayers said Ja Rule had never, ever called her, not even once. And 50 Cent and Ja Rule had been in a public feud for decades. And the night before her deposition in the Sire Spirits civil case, Mayers said she received this text that said, "You will suffer, Fifth," a name used by 50 Cent.
Damn.
During the deposition, Mayers' suit claims that one of 50 Cent's lawyers questioned her about the unsolved 2006 murder of Busta Rhymes' security guard, Israel Ramirez, at a video shoot in Brooklyn. Mayers' suit claims
that was his name. The bodyguard name, it was Izzy, short for Israel Ramirez.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
the incident involved G-Unit affiliates, including 50 Cent. Mayers said she didn't work for Jackson then, and after the deposition, she received a threatening voicemail. The suit states, the campaign did not stop. On August 3rd, 2024, beginning before dawn, Ms. Mayers received 15 calls in roughly 3 hours, including voicemails stating, "Bang, bang, I shot you down." Exactly 1 year later, she received 15 more calls, same date, same count, same pre-dawn timing. When Ms. Mayers reported the conduct in court, Judge Melissa Crane stated, "I mean, this has never happened in any case I've ever had." In the end, Mayers says she has suffered lost wages and intentional infliction of emotional distress. She's asking for damages. But Curtis Jackson's lawyers say they will fight this lawsuit to the end. In a statement to Law and Crime, Jackson's lawyers wrote, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and his representatives categorically and strenuously deny the baseless allegations made in a recent civil complaint filed by Monique Mayers, a former employee terminated for cause on or about March 27, 2019. To date, Mr. Jackson has not been formally served with any pleadings, nor have his representatives been contacted by opposing counsel regarding this matter. It is highly unusual that a lawsuit of this nature was apparently circulated to the press before it was seemingly filed, evidencing that these claims are entirely without merit and are nothing more than a stunt to garner media attention and damage Mr. Jackson's reputation. Ms. Mayers is a disgruntled former employee who was...
So basically, they saying that she capping and none of this shit is true. So do you think that she's just being, as they say, a disgruntled employee, or this actually has some type of merit behind it?
Right. I pause it. I'm looking at it right here. It said it is highly unusual that a lawsuit of this nature was apparently circulated to the press before it was seemingly filed. You know what I'm saying?
So that's saying, basically saying that
it's a play.
I'm about to say there's no substantial evidence that was circulating before.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, why would they leak that information before it was filed to discredit his name before it happens? You know what I'm saying? So now this shit to me is sounding janky. Starting to sound a little janky now. My honest opinion, because why would you have to do that? Why? What?
Hey, D-Love says sound like the feds playing games. They fishing.
Right. Like, no, I'm saying, like, why would you? What did it say? Hold up. Oh, I done missed it. Hold on. But they're saying they leaked the information before the suit was filed. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's the discredit.
Right.
Yeah, that's
they trying to discredit his name before it even happens, and then that's a play right there.
Yeah,
all the way. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with this. This don't sound right already to me.
This nigga Brian said, just give her a role in the new Street Fighter movie.
Yo, Brian, crazy.
Man, welcome.
First one to lose.
Man. Hey, speaking of that Street Fighter shit, you think it's gonna be any good?
The Street Fighter one?
Yeah, it got 50 in it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He played what's that motherfucking name? The boxer.
Ball roll.
Toe up hair. Yeah, the toe up haircut. Yo, that's gonna be comical to see that. That's gonna be comical. Yo, let me see this haircut.
Man, for real.
Terminated for cause over 5 years ago. This lawsuit is nothing more than a transparent attempt to use the guise of a legal proceeding to seek an unjustified payday well outside of the applicable statute of limitations. Tellingly, Ms. Mayers has chosen to employ counsel who is currently engaged in separate ongoing litigation against Mr. Jackson on behalf of Shaniqua Tompkins. This connection further underscores the retaliatory and opportunistic nature of this filing. Furthermore, Mr. Jackson takes any and all threats to himself, his current and former employees, and any witnesses incredibly seriously. Contrary to the false narratives being peddled in this complaint, when these alleged threats were brought to light, Mr. Jackson's legal counsel actively encouraged Ms. Mayers to go to the authorities. Moreover, Mr. Jackson's counsel proactively reported these alleged threats to law enforcement as well to ensure they were thoroughly investigated. We look forward to vigorously defending against these false claims in a court of law and anticipate a swift dismissal of this frivolous lawsuit.
They sound very confident.
Hey, for real though.
They sound very confident over there on that side of 50.
But you already know, like that he gonna have like the top of the top type lawyers, and they can have evidence of him being guilty. They still gonna talk their shit like that. You feel me? So,
right.
You know, all that is a scare tactic to, like, not saying that they're wrong or anything, but that's definitely a scare tactic to make sure, like, to have her have doubt with following through, to make sure, like, you sure you want to do this, because it's gonna be a long day, you know. So, hey, man.
But the thing about it is, it's like her bringing the extras to it, you know, like I don't know, with that part of the shooting with Busta Rhymes' bodyguard have anything to do with the case. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it sounds like it's a lot of stuff.
I mean, so what? Somebody took $600,000 for what?
That's what I'm saying, for their own pockets,
right? Or was it because that Busta Rhymes bodyguard got shot?
Oh, shit.
That's what I'm talking about. What the fuck that got to do with $600,000 getting snatched and him asking you to say that this shit was missing so he can get his money back?
I ain't gonna lie, that's very smart. That
I'm just
thinking about that. Like, ain't nobody catching no bodies for free like that.
Yeah, but why is she mentioning that when that got nothing to do with what the fuck is really going on?
Yeah,
you getting harassed. You saying you're getting harassed because these people are calling you saying this and that. You know what I'm saying? You got to do this. If you don't do it, you know, this and that. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get harassed. What Busta Rhymes' bodyguard got nothing to do with the case.
Yeah, that's kind of round. Hey, shout out to Splashy in the building, bro. Said, that classic. Yeah, man. All right, yeah. Appreciate it, bro. Hey, you right on that. Hey, Brian said, sometimes I feel like some lawsuits are just to deplete the defendant assets through paying their lawyers.
Damn. Well, nah.
Nah, you don't think so?
I mean, that's not going to be nothing compared to what the other side is doing.
When you say the other side, you talking about what, 50 side or her side?
Or whoever's, you know, the accuser, the prosecution side or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, she the one gonna have to come up with the paper, right?
Yeah, I know she's not getting no lawyers doing like
That
no
ain't gonna be no
bono type of
ain't no,
work.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody doing that. You know what I mean? So she gonna be coming out the ass. 50 is
Man,
nothing to him. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing to him. That man got
hey,
money.
can you use that type of stuff for tax write-offs? No.
Huh, I never thought about that. Possibly, yeah, I guess, yeah.
That'd be crazy. But yeah, man. Yeah, let's get back to it. Hey, we got Splash said W stream for sure. Appreciate you pulling up, bro. Oh shit.
Monagle, he's a criminal defense attorney, also has represented Bill Cosby and rapper Meek Mill. So, Brian, thanks for coming on. I want to get your thoughts first off about this lawsuit.
So thanks for having me. And first off, here we go again. You know, another celebrity filing. This one's a little different than some of the others we've seen recently, including Jay-Z's that was dealt with in his favor. I'm really confused by some of the legal problems the plaintiff has here. What jumps out at me as a trial lawyer is a statute of limitations problem with the lawsuit. You know, in all states, there are statutes of limitations. Georgia's no different. It's usually a couple years on a civil claim, and you're going to have charged conduct within the time period of that statute. And despite the fact that there's text messages here, et cetera, that are being referred to as threats, without connecting them specifically to the defendant, I don't know how plaintiff gets past a motion to dismiss based on a statute of limitations argument, but TBD.
Yeah, TBD is for sure. I think we have learned some interesting things here. If everything that she's claiming in this lawsuit is true, or at least some things, there have been apparently FBI investigations related to 50 Cent. She's saying, you know, she's been in touch with the FBI. She's been called in front of grand juries to testify. So it sounds like they've been investigating him over the years, but no charges have been filed.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. I mean, the good news for her is she's been a dutiful reporter or complainer, if you will, of misconduct. But law enforcement apparently investigated this and found nothing. So again, for the defense, you're in a much better position where you've had the complaint. It's been referenced to law enforcement and they've said, hey, we don't see anything here. So it's kind of, you know, it's a mixed bag for the plaintiff, I think, in that they vetted it. They didn't find anything. And here we go with a lawsuit. Plus, this lawsuit seems to be tied to a different one. Same lawyer, same defendant. And so, again, the defense in this case is really armed with a lot of ammunition here to defend this, I think.
I do find it interesting that she said these texts and everything, the text messages, and then later the voicemails, which she said were verified by a sheriff's detective, that they documented these. She said they went on for years and she was scared and they freaked her out, but then she never reported them. And, you know, I would think that the FBI and the sheriff's office would have the tools to probably track this down. Track down who owns the phones, unless they're burners, or who had control of the phones, things of that nature. Especially if somebody's calling somebody in the middle of the night and saying bang, bang, you know, you're dead or whatever. I mean, that seems pretty concerning after you have been in front of a judge for a deposition.
Yeah. I mean, you sound like juror number 4. I mean, that's the problem for the plaintiff in this case. There's just a void here in terms of reporting. And then why didn't you take steps to just avoid it completely with your phone, et cetera? So I wonder whether the timing is just so problematic for the plaintiff where they really can't get anywhere. And maybe that's the reason that they, you know, publicly flushed the lawsuit, maybe as an attempt to get a quick settlement in the case. My guess is there won't be one. Although I will say this, what is problematic for the defense is that this is somebody that was in his inner circle, and that can't be denied. It's also someone who apparently was threatened. That can't be denied. They're not good facts for the defendant. But from a legal standpoint, plaintiff's got some real challenges ahead. avoiding statutes of limitations, avoiding the questions that you've raised fairly, just in terms of why you wait.
She claims too, she was doing the job.
Yeah, they're already trying to throw that narrative out there.
Yeah, the statute of limitations, yo.
Man,
Yeah,
she'll be paying by her knee pads, if you know what I'm saying. Now clean yourself up. What the fuck?
This fool pride is crazy.
Yo.
This fool crazy.
Yeah. Hey, D Love says, who says bang bang? What in the 1920s?
I didn't think he got his homies just
Pops from the Wayne Brothers show. Bang bang bang. Yo, this nigga is stupid.
Hey. Yo, but on a real note though, he talking about the statutes of limitations. Like, what year did this happen then? You know what I'm saying? Like, this don't sound like nothing recent.
Well, first of all, they talking about some stuff that happened in 2007 or 2008. But there's no statute of limitations on the M word. Like, if you catch a body, like, they can get you 20.
Right? Yeah. Later. See, that was the extras I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like, what that got to do with harassment?
Well, the harassment part comes from, hey, I need you to say that this happened, it didn't happen, allegedly bang bang phone calls at night.
Right, but that's way past the statutes of limitations. So what the hell Busta Rhymes bodyguard got to do with your harassment case? Just because you happen to mention it or something?
Well, if she has information on that, then that's
separate. That's completely different from this harassment shit. You know what I'm saying?
One thing that you said that made me think, like, what if that money that low-key the guy ran away with was to pay him off for that job?
Now you're making the connection.
That's what I'm
saying. But she didn't say that.
You know what?
She didn't say that, did she? Or will she?
And she said
in a court of law.
You got some feedback, bro. Hey, that's a good ass.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, in a court of law, like, is she gonna say that in the trial, or her being harassed as that being the whole reason why she's being harassed? Like I'm saying, what this got to do with this?
I'm not gonna lie. I got a feeling like this could be connected. And if she got information like that, of course she's gonna try to say, "Hey, I need like protective custody," the whole nine, because 600,000 just to get somebody away, that's kind of expensive, but that isn't expensive for certain people that got bread like that. You get a whole lot of people.
Yeah, but that situation, bro, like, was that accidental or was he the target? You know what I'm saying?
The bodyguard?
Yeah.
Now, from what I'm seeing and the stuff that I heard, Swiss Beats was the actual target. Busta Rhymes got in front of him, and then the bodyguard got in front of him. So,
okay.
So the person that actually got lit up wasn't the intended target. So
damn. So
like, you don't remember that song that when Cassidy dissed 50 Cent and he had like this lookalike in a music video all greased up and all that stuff. That was a long time ago. And that's what I'm saying. That was the first time, because you had Lloyd Banks, which is G Unit, you had Cassidy, which is Full Surface. So 50 Cent and Swiss Beats, both of those crews came together at that video shoot. And that was the first time that they seen each other since like the war words of everything. So that's what I'm saying. At that particular time, I think they said Cassidy wasn't there, but he was on the song. So I guess he was going to be there like day 2 if it was like a 3-day shoot or something. But Swiss Beats was there, getting his shots in and everything. So it seemed like they was on some. Well, we can't get Cassidy, then we're gonna get the the boss.
Okay.
The crazy part about that, I seen in some comments, people were saying like I seen somebody make that statement as far as they said that it's that dude. It's a guy that passed away. He ended up touching Jimmy Henchman Kid, and then he end up unalive and stuff like that. When Tony Yayo slapped Jimmy Henchman's son, I think his name was Lodi Mack or something like that, and he was like a New York Crip, and eventually they laid him out also. So it's just like people were saying that he had something to do with it, but apparently it was somebody else. So it's crazy that all this stuff is surfacing now. I don't think that it's like out of nowhere. And if there was no like legitimacy to what's going on, then why would they be getting phone calls of bang bang and like all these threatening messages?
Huh.
Yo,
to get her to put some money off, to go get the money. Yeah.
And then that's why they say follow the paper trail, because it's like, all right, so what was this money about, or what was it for?
Yeah, but still though, you think about 600,000 at that time for 50, like the fuck? Take it as a loss.
Yeah, that ain't much, bro.
Yeah.
Brian said Swiss Beats was about to become Swiss cheese, and Busta Rhymes almost got bust on.
What?
Yo, see, Brian, I think Brian is off his sugar tonight. He loves that.
Sympatypical. What?
Man.
Sympatypical. What? What is that?
Simpatico, man?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Yeah, Brian off that good sugar, man. Shout out to Brian in the chat though. But this whole situation is like, it's real crazy, man. I don't think like this is coming out of nowhere. Like, we do know a lot of people try to sue people just randomly for money and stuff, but some of this stuff might be kind of true.
Okay, but the harassment shit with the lawyer talking right here, talking about the statute of limitations. If it comes to that, she gets nothing.
Yeah,
but she happens to mention why is what. You know what I'm saying? By doing that, now you don't open up the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? It's time to dig deep now. So
yeah, this shit is kind of weird, man.
So is that the bigger play? Is to put that on 50? You know what I'm saying?
It could be, that distraction, get somebody out there, and then next thing you know, somebody else come with some other shit. I'm totally lost, bro. Like, a lot of this stuff that she's saying is kind of like, all right, this sound like that's possible. Okay, this sound like that's a reach. So I don't know what the fuck is going on, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Shit. Like, I'm only thinking about the statute of limitations of the complaint. Like, this happened way back then, and that's not gonna hold no ground. You supposed to file that when it happened. You know what I mean? So now it's fucking 2026. That holds no ground. You know what I'm saying? It's not fresh in your mind or anybody else's mind to remember what really happened. You know what I mean? So that's obsolete. You know what I mean? Now, what you happen to mention at the beginning of this video, or is that the whole cause of this, then that opens grounds. Because like you said, ain't no statute of limitations on the unalived part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm really
so that could open up a rabbit hole on him right there.
Exactly. It's kind of like that. Damn, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it's basically that play to make people look this way while all this shit is going on over here.
Right.
And that's what they really focused on. But now
Right.
that the spotlight is on them, something can actually happen.
Right.
Brian says CNH finest powder straight from Hawaii. Aloha mofo. Yeah, this dude he on a good one right now. D-Love says that makes sense to try to throw this back on him, draw attention to him. Yeah, like it's kind of weird, man. She said smoking marriage. Yeah, smoking marriage. Like,
right.
And we've seen and the crazy part about it, people been saying like Jay-Z is next, 50 Cent is next and stuff when all that P. Diddy stuff was going on. And to be honest with you, I believe in the public opinion, a lot of people are kind of getting tired of the fact let's just be clear. A lot of people look at 50 Cent as a bully, and people like that come up story when you're coming up, but then once you get to the top, then that's when people start hating on you because they feel like you winning too much. And with the position of where 50 Cent is at, and he had these successful TV shows and all that stuff, people can, get tired of that. So I'm not surprised that this is coming out to where people are saying all this stuff. Now, Brian said publicity is publicity. Hey, I agree on that. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's true, but still though, by like just being a troll and like you already successful and you got these shows out, you did the rap game, you know what I'm saying? You on a different level of entertainment now. Now, for you to be so petty and stay up in here in the hip hop era and throw your comments or how you feel about or just basically bullying people on the internet, you're gonna ruin your business relationships with others that possibly want to get into business with you or the ones that you're in business with already. Hey, like, yo, this ain't a good look. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the things he be saying, dude, like, like it wasn't just the T.I. shit, like anything before that. You know what I'm saying? The comments he would say would be like, whoa, that's like kind of borderline, like pushing the edge. You know what I'm saying? Like people find it funny, but the other people be like,
that's
why you have to do that? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, you're successful, bro. Why you want to burn your bridges, man?
Hey, one situation that I noticed that happened recently, that's when Irv Gotti passed away. They had beef because Irv Gotti was like the CEO of Murder Inc. And I think he was like on some, F him. Like it's whatever. It's good he did.
And I mean, that's you said distasteful. And whatever you do, man, even if that is your enemy, man, you don't disrespect the dead. That's why these youngsters out here think it's funny doing that all on the internet after shit pop off. You know what I'm saying? Talking about they smoking on whoop-de-wop. You know what I mean? That right there is disrespectful, and that karma gonna come bite your ass, bite you all up, bite your legs, knees, your ass.
That's next level.
Gonna come get you. Because that's that energy you pushing out. If you want to push that energy out, it's gonna come get you the same way.
Yep. That's real talk. Hey, salute to 33rd State, man. Hope all is well with you, bro. But yeah, man, let's keep it pushing though, man. This is interesting.
She says of 3 executives and didn't complain, didn't ask for additional compensation. She did the job of 3 executives for 3 years. And then during that time, she said basically there were 3 strikes in 2019 where she refused to cover up or do things that were illegal at the request of Curtis Jackson. And if that is actually true, is that problematic for Curtis Jackson? She's claiming that he wanted her to hide income from the bankruptcy court, do things like that. She wanted her to file a false police report, which she didn't end up doing. So I guess there was no crime committed there. But the
But it
bankruptcy
won't
court
hold.
stuff, I mean, when you start talking about hiding money from the feds, they don't like that. So are these things that could be problematic for 50 Cent if those things are indeed true?
The allegations are problematic. I mean, she's accused him of mail fraud. She's accused him of any number of crimes. The problem, again, is apparently the FBI has investigated these allegations, and they haven't gone anywhere. And there haven't been any criminal charges. And now we're at an hour where criminal charges aren't going to be brought, and civil charges may be barred because of the statute of limitations. So everything she accuses him of is disparaging. A couple of crimes in there she's accused him of. Problem is the people that bring indictments, convene grand juries, and bring criminal charges haven't quite seen it that way. That's her problem. But yeah, salacious allegations where if you got to a jury, if you could get to a jury, could be a real headache for the defense. I think there's just too difficult a road to get to that jury.
There's also an inference in here. She's claiming that during this deposition in 2024, that Curtis Jackson's lawyers brought up the murder of a rapper at Busta Rhymes' studio, and that it was totally like out of bounds. This had nothing to do with her. She said she didn't work for Curtis Jackson at that time. So that this was brought up to like intimidate her. This is her claim. That murder remains unsolved. What? So she's saying members of his crew, the G Unit crew, were apparently around when that homicide was committed. I mean, that she's almost implying that his people have knowledge of this murder. And she's saying that there's a retired NYPD detective who has basically said that high profile rappers were involved in this homicide or had knowledge of it. So
there it is.
That's a pretty bold claim as well.
There it is. Just the whole point of everything is what she said right there. It doesn't matter. That other shit ain't gonna hold. This was what they want to know about. This is what it is. It's all about that right there. Let's get to the point. You know what I'm saying? The meat and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? All that other shit is nothing but vegetables. Nobody want to eat that.
Yeah.
What's really going on? You get to the point of whoa, this could get deep.
Hey, D-Love said, I believe in keeping the same energy, no matter if they're in this here realm or not, but it's a time to. And then she also said, now I'm looking like who paid her to come forward. Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like that other stuff could be some BS, but with her dropping them little nuggets as far as, well, you know, X, Y, and Z about this person getting popped, that's definitely gonna bring their attention to it. So that's a good question. I'm like, what's the purpose? Who brought you? Who paid you off? Because now it's getting very interesting, and that's what I'm saying. I'm still gonna hold on to that thing that you said earlier. Like that whole 400,000, 600,000 ended up missing. A good question that you asked is like, so what do you think it was for? Like, I don't think it's for just like him being nice and no gifts or anything. Like, that's definitely sounding like on some yeah. Yeah, man. No comment.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, bro, that's what it is. Like, he getting the money. That's what it was. He was getting the money, like, or he was getting the money back that was stolen from him. You know what I'm saying? As the dude stole it, so like, yo, let me get this back, like I paid him. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. But I'm saying to myself, 600,000, like, because dude took the money from him, or is that allegedly that he took it from him?
That's the word. And another thing is like, all right, so if this dude took the money, and if you're saying he didn't do anything like as far as getting police involved, you know what happened after that. Then if you're not looking for police justice, you're gonna get justice some other type of way. And if I'm not mistaken, the dude probably still alive running around here. So, you know, kind of sound
Like I was saying, like he had enough money like that to take a loss. So why try to get the money back through this chick?
Interesting, bro.
Right.
Very interesting.
Yeah, like think about that. And then you got this chick coming in here talking about this, that, and harassment years and decades later. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, that ain't gonna hold no ground in court of law. You know that. You just coming here just to say this.
Yeah.
And now they done forgot all about that because they gonna dismiss that shit. And then let's get back to this over here. What is this about? Let's open up this investigation and see what they're talking about.
And I agree with what D Love said, man. It's like now you got a question like, what's the purpose and who sent you? Like that's
Right.
when shit like that happen, you really got to ask different questions,
Hey.
be very intuitive.
And yeah, because you gotta, the facts, the evidence, it's right there for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if that shit happened, why she didn't report that then? When she was getting the threats.
Yeah.
Is she still getting threats now?
You know what? Maybe she was getting like still on payroll.
I don't know. I don't think she's getting no threats right now though.
Oh, as far as threats,
Yeah.
nah.
See, when you getting those threats then and now and all that shit, that's when you go do what you trying to do now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now it's not going to hold in court at all. That shit about to get dismissed. That's why I said earlier, I said, damn, 50 crews or lawyers sound very confident. Like, yo, they ain't worried about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point is, you talking about this over here, and please let me know what that got to do with what you was talking about in your harassment case. That's what I want to know. What that got to do with this? What A got to do with B? You feel me?
Good question, man. So question, do you think this is just going to go away or this is about to spark a whole bunch of stuff?
Shit, they got to look into it now because
Yeah.
she's a witness as shit pretty much done. I ain't gonna say testify, but made a statement about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So doing that, yeah, they got to look into it. Like they gonna be like, oh, they about to start gathering up people that was around and all that shit. He gonna have to come in and all that crazy shit.
Man, this is not looking too good.
There's
Yeah,
no
man,
question
this gonna
about
be.
it.
Huh?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, you about to say this is about the what?
No, I was like this gonna be a pretty interesting thing. Like if this gonna pop off, like a domino effect thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I think. That's what I
Yeah.
think because it's always, hey man, I'm just looking at this like a small crack in your windshield can end up to the whole windshield bursting at some point. So this
That's
is that
true.
small crack that's starting something.
Right.
That's crazy.
When I read that piece of it, I had to read it 2 or 3 times over because I quite frankly didn't get it. Why would his lawyers be questioning her in a deposition about that subject? Made no sense to me.
It makes no sense.
Obviously, there's got to be more to it. But again, it just sounds like a lot of this is let's throw as much mud against the wall as we can, see what sticks, if anything. And that would be one of the pieces to it. Again, that murder investigation I guess will always be open. And so maybe it's just a little veiled threat to say, hey, listen, I know more than maybe you want me to know. Listen, I'm all ears on this one. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when we get into a courtroom, when there's an answer filed and a judge gets control of this thing. And then the motions start flying in terms of statutes of limitations, motions to dismiss for lack of a proper complaint. It took me, 15 to 20 minutes to figure out what they were actually claiming, the civil violation is. So again, it's not surprising when you think about who's involved here. We've seen a lot of lawsuits over the past
What?
probably 3 or 4 years of like nature where celebrities are being sued for one reason or another. Many of them have not gone well for the plaintiff.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's the delay snitching for me.
Yeah. Yeah. That part.
Very suspicious for sure.
And you were saying that, yo, it's not gonna hold up pretty much like things like those cases, like that's not gonna hold up in court. He pretty much saying that. But this other shit, this is niggas about to start the internet trolls, internet detectives, they about to get on that. They about to get on that, bro.
Of course.
They are about to get on that right there. That's gonna be the next one next week. It's coming.
Hey man, as they say, be careful of like who you offend on the way up because you're gonna have to see them on the way down. So if this is true, people are gonna have the same energy that 50 Cent had with other people. So
yeah, they're gonna clown them.
Hopefully it's not, man.
And I should say that it was the unsolved murder of Israel Ramirez
Yes.
in 2006. And it was at the Busta Rhymes video shoot in Brooklyn. And it was involving an incident, according to her, of G Unit affiliates, including 50 Cent. So that's a pretty bold claim. And you're right. I think that this is a 67-page lawsuit. I mean, 67 pages. And there's a lot in there. And she is basically saying, like, she's been intimidated. She's been harassed. She's had anxiety. She's had all these issues. But in between, there's all this stuff. And it's a lot.
Yeah. It reads, it reads like, a magazine you'd find in a grocery store. And that's never a particularly good thing for a civil complaint either. Judges are going to look at these complaints and they're going to say, well, listen, once we put aside all the vitriol and all of the, salacious details, for lack of a better description, where's the rubber going to meet the road? Where is the meat of this civil case?
I just said
how
that.
How do you avoid the filing at this late period of time? What's your answer for how it comes within the statute of limitations? And then if you get past summary judgment after all of that, then it becomes interesting. Then it becomes fun. Then we're all tuned in for a jury trial. The challenge will be to get there.
If I'm 50 Cent, though,
wow.
and I'm reading all of this,
It's
and
a
the
challenge for
FBI has
them.
actually been investigating me, and my name's coming up in this unsolved homicide investigation, and the feds are talking to people about things my lawyers don't even know about. I think I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I'm guessing he knew, and that worry already happened. If he had worries, anybody. At least from a distance, and it's always been a distance for me. He doesn't seem like a guy who does a lot of worrying. He's had the kind of life that obviously makes it possible for him to sleep okay, despite all of the investigations that have gone on in this case. It may well be that he's done absolutely nothing wrong.
Right.
At a minimum, obviously, it can't be fun for him to have his business in the street. Particularly from someone who was so close to him and who was really overseeing just about everything in his professional life. That's what's interesting about this lawsuit. Some of the other ones we've seen, it's not that case. It's someone who's in a relationship with someone. It's someone who's briefly known the celebrity. Here, it's someone who's kind of been the keeper of the keys for a while. I just wonder if she waited too long. If there's any legitimacy to any of her allegations, whether she waited too long to make them.
Well, she said she was supposed to get severance and never got it. So that's one of the claims in here. And I'm thinking to myself too, why didn't you file something back then and say I was due severance? Give me my severance.
Yeah, too little, too late in a lot of ways. I will tell you, and it makes you wonder why the filing now. Does the filing now have something to do with they're trying to piggyback on another lawsuit That was claimed by the defense. And I think there'll be more claims along those lines as we move forward, once they've had a time to digest it, and start figuring out their defense strategies.
Well, and that's his lawyer's claim. But they're claiming, look, she's endured years of threats. They basically say they have a paper trail with the FBI and this sheriff's office investigation. But as you're saying, there's still a statute of limitations.
There's no question about it.
In your opinion, yes.
Yeah, there's
right.
no question about it. They're going to have to find conduct that he engaged in, or that others engaged in at his direction, and prove that within a 2-year time period. It could be the last thing. It could be something very late in the game, and that will trigger the statute. But if they don't find it, they're going to be SOL here on this lawsuit. So it's one of the first times I've ever seen an immediate response by the defense of, hey, listen, you blew the statute. Because that was one of the first things that his lawyers referenced. And it was the first thing that came to mind as I read the lawsuit. Again, she's going to have to be able to establish that those threats that occurred, I think it was 2024, which is within the statute, were made by him, were made by somebody that he directed. And I don't know they have that. If they have it, they didn't plead it in the lawsuit.
Well, we will keep an eye on it, and we will wait and see, as they say. Brian McMonagle, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And we'll keep an eye on this lawsuit and let you know what happens.
Yo, shout out to Law and Crime for this video, man. This is very, very interesting, bro. And if they can't get them on that small stuff, they're gonna really try to get them on that other shit, bro.
Yeah, they're gonna try to open that shit all the way up right there. And
50 snitches get 50 stitches.
Oh shit. Yeah, man. Like, honestly, man, my take on it, yeah, she way too late to be filing this complaint. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. Like, this happened decades ago, and you bringing up this harassment thing now, way too late for it. I know he's probably not even harassing you now. And for you to say that G Unit, she's saying that G Unit members were there along with 50 Cent. What that got to do with it? What do you know who did it?
Yeah, all that stuff really don't matter unless you about to point fingers and say who was actually involved with what.
Like, do you know inside information? Maybe you was around, they was talking. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you got the info like that. You know what I'm saying? Would sound like, some real, like, a gangster movie for real, because you probably wouldn't be living that damn long after that. Like, that's how I see it.
Like, if she is to go forward with any very incriminating type of evidence, I'm pretty sure she's gonna call out the full carpet. Like, I need witness protection, I need just plastic surgery, change of identity, the whole nine. Because if this allegedly happened before, then what make you think that you will be exempt for that happening to you? So,
right. And you still around, and this lawsuit is, of course, I guess, got to be this year, right?
The filing of everything.
Yeah. Okay. And shit, that's 20 years ago then, right?
Yeah, if that
somewhere in the time of that happening. So the statutes of limitations is supersedes, like the court don't even want to hear, case dismissed. You know what I'm saying? You came in there with 67 pages of a complaint. Nah, a complaint is very thick. You got to come in with more. It's like, you got to put details of stories. The pages are thick. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, would you say like a complaint that's serious like that? It'd be like what, 200 pages or something?
Shit, I guess she couldn't remember all the details. 67 pages ain't nothing.
Unless it's like potent information, but
Nah, man, that's at six. Nah, that ain't nothing, man. Come on, man. Like it's not enough to hold ground. The judge gonna see the complaint by how light it is. 67 pages. You
yeah,
probably don't even want to look at it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He'll read that shit so damn fast up there. Them judges read fast as fuck, man. They be up there, yeah. And they key in on shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all they do. But
yeah.
yeah, I think it's all a play for somehow for her to. I don't know, man. Like D Love said, like who paid her to come out? Now I'm thinking like that now. You know what I'm saying? Because this play ain't gonna hold ground at all in the court of law when it comes to the harassment part of it. That's what she's
Yeah.
filing for. That ain't gonna hold no ground. What she said before, what she happened to be mentioning, they're gonna look into that. That's part of the complaint. So let's see what's going on with this. You know what I mean? Let's call in a few people that was around there in that area at that time that we could get and bring them in and let's see what we got. Maybe it's a play. Somebody made a move. Somebody playing chess with him. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's one of them that that Hollywood shit is different. They play games different in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
them motherfuckers be like, yo, okay. All right, then here we go. Bam. Let me make this. Let me put my rook on this side, put my bishop right here, and my queen gonna be sitting out hanging right there for you to make a move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They play like that. So I don't know,
Like
maybe 50.
a lot of teaming up type of stuff. It might not be
Right.
the person that you directly disrespected. It could be somebody associated to them that also
That
don't like
part.
you also.
That's what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying now? Now you see what I'm saying. Like, yo, he been out there playing a lot of games with people, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He too old for that too, man. He's starting to give me that goddamn whack 100 feel and shit. Like, come on, man, you too old for this shit.
Whack.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you too old to be playing these type of games and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like 50, shit. How is he? About 7 years younger than me. Something like that, I think. That's still too old, man. He pushing 50 now.
I'm about to
You know
say,
what I'm saying?
ironically, it says he was born in 75, so they said he's 50.
Oh, okay. Well, 4 years old. Yeah, 4 years younger than me. So,
Man, that's crazy.
yeah. So, shit, he already there. Oh, he there today, huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he too old, bro. He too old to be playing these games, man. Come on. Let it go. Leave it to the young. It's a young man's game now. You know what I'm saying? You done it, Grandpa. You done it.
Hey, Brian said, I want to get 2-for-1 Whopper special from 1988 for $2.99.
Me too.
What do you mean that coupon expired?
What? What you talking about, man? I was telling my girl about that the other day, boy.
Man, sometimes
Hell
you
yeah.
get more money from making a book deal than winning a case. Best advertisement you can get it. Wait, the best advertisement you can get is a public trial.
Huh.
Yeah, like that. I'm kind of 50-50 about that. Like sometimes, all publicity is good publicity, unless like you're dealing with kids and stuff. I don't think that's good publicity. But like a court trial like this, like, yeah, for sure. Like, people are going to tune in to see what's going on, and then they're going to check out whatever else that you got going on just because of that. So
Somebody made a play on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
They playing chess.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, man, I think that's going to be the show. 50 Cent, He's in some mess right now, man. So if y'all watching this on the replay, man, make sure you make y'all comments in the comment section and stuff. Appreciate everybody pulling up. 33rd State, Brian, D-Love, Splashy, Micah. You know, the gang's in the building, man. So we out, man. Peace.
Yo, you now rocking with Klasic music. Now what I want you to do is hit that like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Yeah, let's get it.